The sky above the colony burned in shades of red and gray, the color of a dying world. Acid rain fell slowly, hissing as it touched metal streets. The air smelled of rust and old sorrow. A woman named Lyra walked through the storm, clutching a small bundle in her arms and a single golden ring in her pocket. Her child, weak from hunger, slept against her chest wrapped in torn fabric. Lyra's eyes were hollow but determined. She had walked for hours through the market district, searching for anyone who might trade food for the ring. Most stalls had already closed, their alien owners afraid of the nightly patrols. The few that remained open looked at her with disgust, whispering, "Human beggar," before turning away at last. She saw it, a dim blue light above a cracked metal door. The sign read, "Vareth's Exchange, we buy the forgotten." Lyra hesitated. She had never seen this shop before. It was small, hidden between giant alien structures that shimmered with unknown energy. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The air inside was cold and silent. Shelves were filled with strange artifacts, glowing stones, metallic feathers, weapons that hummed softly. Behind a counter stood a tall alien with gray skin and silver eyes. His long fingers were clasped together as he studied her. Lyra placed the ring on the counter, her voice trembling. "Please, I need food, my child." "He hasn't eaten in 2 days," the alien. Vareth tilted his head, his eyes focused on the ring. He didn't speak for a moment, then he picked it up with great care. Turning it slowly under the light, the golden band shimmered with faint symbols, symbols that no modern human could read. "Where did you get this?" Vareth asked softly. "It was my husband's," she said. "He died working in the mines. It's all I have left, please. I just need enough for bread or a ration cube." Vareth placed the ring on a small scanner. A beam of light passed over it, and suddenly the room filled with a sharp, high-pitched tone. The scanner's display flashed red. Terran signature detected. Vareth's eyes widened. He whispered something in his language. Words filled with disbelief. "Impossible. After so long." Lyra stepped back, frightened. "What's wrong?" "It's just a ring." The alien looked at her, then at the child in her arms. His silver eyes seemed to see deeper than skin. "That ring, it does not belong to a miner. It is a command seal from the old human fleet." Lyra blinked, confused. "The old fleet? You mean the war stories? Those are myths." Vareth leaned closer, lowering his voice. "Not myths. Little mother history forgotten by your kind. Erased by the empires that feared you." Before she could reply, the lights flickered. The shop's door sealed itself shut with a metallic hiss. From the back of the room came footsteps, slow, deliberate, heavy. Another figure appeared, cloaked in shadow. Its voice was deep and distorted through a translator device. "We don't want the ring, human." "We want you." Lyra froze, every muscle in her body stiff. She clutched her child tighter. "What do you mean?" "I'm just..." "Quiet," Vareth interrupted sharply. His silver eyes now glowed faintly. "Do not speak further. They've found us." The air vibrated with low hums as hidden panels in the walls began to open, revealing dark machinery. The cloaked figure stepped closer, pulling back its hood to reveal a pale-scaled face marked with symbols of the Galactic Enforcement Guild. Vareth's voice turned sharp. "You're early, Enforcer." "I haven't completed my analysis." "You've already done enough," the Enforcer growled. "The signal was triggered when you scanned that relic. Headquarters wants the human alive." Lyra's breathing quickened. "Alive? Why? What did I do?" The alien's smile was cold. "You carry something that shouldn't exist, human command code in living form." Vareth moved suddenly. Faster than she expected, his arm transformed. Plates of metal sliding over flesh. He fired a pulse of blue light that shattered the scanner and threw sparks across the floor. "Run, human!" he shouted. The Enforcer lunged forward, but Lyra didn't think. She grabbed the ring and ran toward the back of the shop. Clutching her child to her chest behind her, she heard the sound of plasma fire, the crash of shelves, and Vareth's roar as he fought the intruder. She stumbled through a narrow hallway, heart pounding. Her foot struck a hidden panel that slid open, revealing a tunnel beneath the floor. With one last look behind her, she jumped down, landing hard in the darkness above her. The sounds of battle grew louder. The tunnel lights flickered to life, leading into the depths of the city. In her trembling hand, the ring began to glow faintly. Pulsing with her heartbeat, Lyra whispered through tears, "I just wanted food." But somewhere deep inside, something answered, a soft mechanical voice echoing from the ring. "Command link." Restored, her eyes widened. Her fear turned to confusion and confusion to dread. What had she carried all this time? And why did the galaxy suddenly want her? The tunnel shook as explosions echoed above. The story of a hungry mother had just become the beginning of humanity's return. The tunnel air was damp and heavy, echoing with distant sirens. Lyra ran barefoot through the dim passage, the child's quiet cries echoing softly behind her. Each step echoed her heartbeat, fast and frightened. The glowing ring lit her path with faint golden light, flickering like a heartbeat. When she finally stopped to rest, she pressed her back against the cold metal wall. "It's okay, my baby," she whispered. "It's going to be okay." But her words sounded hollow. Even to herself, a sudden clang behind her made her freeze. Vareth dropped down from the hatch above. Half of his robes burned, his metallic skin cracked but still glowing faintly. "You're lucky," he rasped. "They almost caught you." Lyra took a step back, unsure whether to trust him. "You said they wanted me." "Why, what's happening?" Vareth looked at the ring glowing in her hand. "That ring doesn't just hold metal, it carries memory. Code older than this colony itself." He took a slow breath, his voice filled with something between fear and awe. "It belongs to the last commander of the Terran Black Armada." Lyra frowned, shaking her head. "That's impossible. Those are old stories. Human ships fighting gods. Humans ruling the stars. Those things aren't real." Vareth looked at her with pity. "Oh, they were real, little mother, I know. Because I served under them." His words hit her like thunder. She stared at him, eyes wide. "You served under humans?" "Yes," he said quietly. "Long ago, before your kind disappeared, I was a translator aboard a Terran command ship. I watched humans tame stars and shatter empires. And then they vanished, erased from galactic history except for fragments like this ring." He pointed at it gently. Lyra glanced at the ring, its pulse syncing with her own heartbeat. "Why would it react to me?" "Because it recognizes you," Vareth said. "Your blood carries the key, an echo of the command code. Humanity built its legacy into its children." The child stirred in her arms, and Vareth smiled faintly. "Even the smallest human holds something the galaxy fears." Before Lyra could reply, a low hum filled the tunnel. The lights flickered, and Vareth's expression hardened. "They're tracking us through energy signatures. We have to move." He led her through winding tunnels into an abandoned subway chamber. The walls were covered in human graffiti and dust, forgotten signs of a time when people still believed in hope. In the center of the chamber stood a rusted machine, shaped like a throne fused with cables. Vareth approached it carefully. "This is what I wanted to show you." Lyra frowned. "What is it?" He brushed the dust away, revealing a small console marked with faded English letters. "Terran Command Interface. Authorized genetic link required." Lyra's breath caught. The ring in her hand grew warm. The golden glow spread up her wrist like liquid fire. Vareth's metallic voice softened. "You see now? It's waiting for you." She hesitated. "I don't understand any of this. I just want food for my son. I don't want to start some war." Vareth knelt beside her, his tone calm but urgent. "This isn't about war, it's about survival. The galaxy has forgotten what you are. And if they control that ring, humanity's last light will die forever." She stared at the console, trembling. "And if I touch it?" "Then you awaken the truth," he said. "You awaken what sleeps beneath your blood." Lyra took a deep breath. Her hand shook as she reached out. Touching the cold metal, the console came alive, symbols flooding the air in golden light. A calm voice echoed through the room. "Command identity confirmed. Lineage trace Terran Fleet Commander Aria Solis. Descendant active Lyra Solis." Her knees weakened, the name echoed inside her mind. A name she had never heard but somehow recognized. Aria Solis. She whispered, "Who was she?" Vareth looked at her with deep respect. The woman who ended the First Galactic War. The one who vanished into the void with the Black Armada. She was your ancestor. The console's lights changed, displaying a message. "Reactivation protocol ready. Location key required." Vareth turned serious. "The ring isn't the weapon, it's a map. A guide to the hidden vault where Earth's last ships sleep." Lyra shook her head slowly. "And if they find it first?" He met her gaze. "Then humanity will remain slaves forever." For a long moment, silence filled the chamber. Then Lyra looked down at her sleeping child. At the ring and at the flickering console, she whispered, "If my blood is really the key, then I'll protect it." Vareth nodded slowly. Then you've already begun the awakening. Above them, the walls trembled, heavy footsteps echoing machinery. The enforcers had found them again. Vareth's eyes glowed with defiance. They won't stop, they can't. Because they fear what you represent? Lyra looked at him, her voice quiet but strong. Then let's show them what humanity really is. The lights flickered again. The console dimmed as Vareth led her through another passage. The sound of alien weapons grew louder, but beneath it, another sound began to rise, distant, rhythmic, mechanical, like something ancient waking up deep beneath the city. Machines that had slept for centuries began to hum. Their sensors caught the pulse of one human heartbeat, and one simple signal whispered through the void. Aurora protocol initializing. The galaxy didn't know it yet, but the mother who only wanted bread had just reignited the flame of humanity. The ground trembled as the old tunnels filled with vibration, a deep rumble that seemed to come from every direction at once. Lyra could hear the faint echo of boots and metallic claws scraping against the steel corridors. The hunters were coming. Vareth stopped suddenly and pressed his hand to the wall. Small blue symbols appeared, forming a faint doorway. This leads to the outer maintenance shafts, he whispered. If we reach the surface, we might lose their scanners. Lyra held her child closer, fear tightening in her chest. And if they find us? Vareth's eyes flashed silver. Then we fight. The wall slid open, revealing a narrow passage filled with dust and broken pipes. The air was colder here. Lyra could see her breath forming small clouds. She followed Vareth silently, her bare feet making soft echoes on the metal floor. As they moved forward, the tunnel lights flickered again. This time, the flicker wasn't from power failure, it was movement. A dark shadow formed at the far end, blocking their way. Out of the darkness stepped a tall figure in heavy armor, the symbol of the Galactic Enforcement Guild shining bright on its chest. Its voice echoed through the narrow passage. Deep and mechanical. Human subject identified. Surrender the Terran key. Vareth raised his arm. Small plates shifting into a cannon-like weapon. She's under my protection. The enforcer tilted its head slightly. You betray your kind, Vareth. I serve truth, not fear. Vareth replied coldly without warning. The corridor exploded with light as plasma bolts tore through the air. Vareth blocked most of them with a shifting energy field, but one bolt grazed his shoulder, sending sparks across his armor. The smell of burnt metal filled the passage. Lyra ducked behind a pipe, shielding her child. Her heart pounded so fast she could barely breathe. She looked at the glowing ring. Its pulse was faster now, brighter as if responding to her fear. Vareth, she shouted. The ring, it's glowing again. He glanced back, eyes widening. Hold it tight. It's trying to link with something. The enforcer advanced, its voice steady. You cannot win. That artifact belongs to the guild. The humans are gone. Their power will be archived once more. Lyra felt anger rising inside her. Anger stronger than fear. You're wrong, she said quietly, then louder. We're still here. The ring flashed in response, blindingly bright. The floor beneath her cracked, and a beam of golden light shot upward through the ceiling, cutting through metal and stone. The enforcer stumbled back as its armor flickered, its sensors screaming interference. Vareth turned toward her, astonished. You activated it without a command code. The voice from the ring returned. Calm and cold, command resonance detected. Awakening protocol continues. A shockwave rolled through the tunnel, and suddenly holograms flickered across the walls. Images of human ships, towering mechs, and the black symbol of the Terran Navy. Lyra stared in awe. Is this real? Vareth nodded slowly. It's history. The memory of your ancestors preserved inside the ring, the enforcer roared, raising its weapon again. Enough! It fired a blast that hit the tunnel roof. Rocks and metal rained down. Lyra screamed as debris fell between them. Vareth jumped forward, covering her and the child with his body. His armor cracked but held. He turned his head toward her. There's an exit up ahead. Run when I say. I'm not leaving you, she said. Tears in her eyes. You must. The galaxy will hunt you now, and you are the only one who can finish this. His voice softened. Your people once called me friend. Let me earn that name again. The enforcer reloaded, mechanical eyes glowing red. Vareth stood tall, his metallic skin shifting into battle form. Go, Lyra, now. Lyra ran through the collapsing tunnel, her heart hammering. Behind her, she heard the roar of weapons, the clash of energy, and Vareth's defiant cry echoing like thunder. When she finally burst into the open air, the night sky above was filled with chaos. Search drones hovered, casting bright white beams across the ruins. The colony skyline glowed faintly with fire and smoke. She hid behind a broken cargo ship hull. Panting, clutching her child close, the ring was still glowing. Whispering in her mind, "Signal locked. Location data received. Follow the light." She looked up, and in the sky, a faint streak of golden light pointed toward the distant mountains beyond the colony. Lyra whispered, "That's where I'm supposed to go." As she prepared to move, an explosion behind her lit the horizon. Vareth's shop and the tunnels below it collapsed in flame. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "I'll finish what you started," she whispered. The wind carried the faint hum of the ring's power, a rhythm that sounded almost like a heartbeat, or perhaps like the distant pulse of awakening machines waiting deep beneath alien soil. And far above the burning colony, unseen by all, satellites long thought dead flickered to life, transmitting a forgotten signal across the void. Terran beacon reacquired, Black Armada awakening sequence pending. The hunter had arrived, but what it awakened would soon turn hunter and prey into dust alike, because the galaxy had just heard the heartbeat of humanity again. Cold winds swept through the mountain pass as Lyra climbed the jagged rocks, her child tied to her chest beneath layers of torn fabric. The sky above was streaked with green auroras, silent and eerie as if the stars themselves were watching. Every step burned her feet, but she didn't stop, because somewhere ahead, that faint golden light still pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Days had passed since the battle under the colony. Her food was gone, her body weak, but the ring refused to let her give up. Sometimes at night it whispered softly, not in words but in feelings, guidance, direction, warmth. It was leading her somewhere ancient, somewhere hidden. When she finally reached a plateau, she saw it. A half-buried structure carved into the cliffside, massive, silent, and covered in vines. The door bore a faded symbol, a human hand surrounded by stars. Her breath caught. "This is human," she whispered. The ring glowed brighter, and the door responded, ancient locks shifting, gears groaning awake after centuries of sleep. The ground vibrated as the entrance slowly opened, releasing a rush of cold metallic air inside. The walls were covered with holographic carvings, human figures, fleets, planets, battles. All of them surrounded a central figure, a woman with the same eyes as Lyra beneath the image. Ancient letters spelled out, "Admiral Aria Solis, Keeper of the Black Armada." Lyra's knees weakened. She reached out, touching the cold surface, and suddenly the room came alive. Lights shimmered and a voice filled the air. Calm and commanding. Command code detected. Scanning genetic signature. Match 92% lineage confirmed. Welcome. Descendant of Solis. A golden beam scanned Lyra from head to toe. Her body trembled as energy passed through her blood. The ring vibrated, fusing its light with her heartbeat. Vareth's words echoed in her memory. Humanity built its legacy into its children. The voice continued. Warning. System degradation detected. Black Armada offline. AI fleets dormant. Awaiting reactivation. Lyra swallowed hard. I don't understand. What do you want from me? The voice softened. Not want, need. The human code within you is the only link to reinitialize command authority. Her child whimpered softly, and she held him closer. You mean, I have to wake them up? Affirmative, but activation requires dual resonance, organic and mechanical synchronization. Proceed to core chamber. The wall shifted, revealing a spiral stairway descending deep into the earth. Lyra hesitated but stepped forward, the ring's glow lighting her way. The deeper she went, the stronger the hum became, a sound like machines breathing in sleep. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber filled with rows of enormous capsules, each one marked with the insignia of the Terran Navy. Lyra's eyes widened. These are ships, she whispered. The smallest of them stretched the length of a mountain. The voice returned. Stored units 4,223 dreadnoughts, 12,000 cruisers, 91,000 defense drones, fleet designation, Black Armada. She stepped closer, and as she did, the ring pulsed again. Each pulse echoed through the chamber, lights flickering on one by one. Dust fell from the ceiling as ancient engines stirred. But then the voice faltered. Warning, foreign interference detected. External access breach. Lyra froze. What does that mean? Pursuers approaching, hostile units inbound. Her heart pounded. She looked toward the entrance far above, and saw faint lights flickering. Search beacons descending from the mountain path. She whispered, "They found me," before she could think. The AI spoke again. "Emergency defense protocol available. Requires biological authorization." Lyra clenched her jaw. "Do it." The floor panel slid open beneath her, revealing a narrow platform surrounded by glowing cables. "Place your hand on the command surface." She did. Her skin burned as energy surged through her veins. Images flooded her mind. Cities of light, fleets of steel. Voices of ancient captains calling her name. She saw Earth, not as a dying world, but as a beacon of strength. The voice whispered, "You carry her courage, her code, her fire." Then came the roar. Engines awakening for the first time in centuries. The ground trembled as several capsules unlocked. Their surfaces split apart to reveal sleek, black warships emerging from stone. Outside, the mountain began to shake, the snow sliding off its peaks as blue light filled the air. Lyra staggered back, barely able to stand. What have I done?" "You have done what was inevitable," said the voice. "You have reawakened the inheritance of mankind." The mountain split as the first dreadnought rose from the earth, its massive frame shaking the air. Dozens of alien ships appeared in the sky, hovering like vultures. The enforcers had arrived. The leading ship sent a transmission. "Surrender the Terran relic or be annihilated." Lyra's trembling hand held the ring high. Her voice broke but didn't waver. "You call it a relic, but it's my people's memory." The ring flared. The dreadnoughts locked weapons, and for the first time in centuries, the sky above the colony roared with human thunder. The voice in her blood whispered one last time. "Aurora protocol complete. Command link active. Welcome back, humanity." And as the first alien cruiser fell from the sky, Lyra realized they didn't just want her ring or her blood. They wanted her birthright. But they had forgotten one truth. Humans never stop fighting. The mountain groaned like a living creature as the ancient vault tore itself open. The ground split apart, spilling light and dust into the cold night. From deep within the earth, the first Terran dreadnought rose, black steel glinting beneath the alien moons. The ship's engines pulsed with blue fire, silent at first, then growing into a thunderous roar that shook the stars themselves. Lyra stood on the edge of the platform, hair whipping in the storm of energy, her child clutched to her chest, the ring burning like molten gold in her palm. Above her, alien ships swarmed the skies, dozens of enforcer cruisers descending like vultures, their weapons already charging. The AI's calm voice echoed through the chamber. "Terran flagship Astra Ultima awakening complete. Awaiting command sequence." Lyra stared up at the enormous vessel hovering above the mountain. Its hull was marked with the ancient insignia of Earth, a silver eagle across a ring of stars. "It's real," she whispered, barely able to breathe. Then came the broadcast, harsh and cold. "This is Commander Drav of the Galactic Enforcement Guild. You are in possession of a restricted human artifact. Surrender immediately." Lyra raised her head slowly, eyes glowing faintly from the reflection of the ring's light. Her voice was quiet but steady. "I'm not surrendering." Vareth's voice echoed faintly through her memory. "They fear what you represent," the AI spoke again. "Defense grid offline. Primary weapon systems awaiting organic authorization." Lyra looked down at the glowing interface beneath her feet. "How?" "Place the command seal on the central core." She stepped forward, her hand shaking, and pressed the ring against the control node. The moment it touched, golden light exploded across the chamber, spreading through the mountain like veins of lightning. "Authorization confirmed," said the AI. "Welcome, Commander Solus." Reactivating planetary defense systems. Outside, the air shimmered as dormant satellites and hidden turrets burst from the cliffsides. Alien ships opened fire, plasma bolts raining down, but each one vanished against newly formed energy shields. The dreadnought's hull came alive with glowing runes, its cannons extending with mechanical grace. The AI's tone shifted from calm to powerful. "Target acquisition complete." The sky lit up. The first Terran plasma beam cut through the air like a blade of sunfire, slicing an enforcer ship in half. The explosion painted the clouds in gold and red. The alien formation broke instantly, panicked voices filling the comms. "Impossible!" One shouted. The Terran fleet was destroyed millennia ago. But there it was, reborn from the ashes of forgotten history, commanded by a starving mother who had only wanted bread. Lyra watched in disbelief as the dreadnought's weapons roared again. each shot shaking the planet, the air filled with static. And her mind connected with the ship's systems. She could feel its power, its heartbeat merging with her own. Synchronizing neural link, the AI announced. You are now the core commander of the Black Armada, Lyra gasped, staggering as visions flashed through her mind. Old battles, human admirals shouting orders, alien fleets burning, planets liberated from tyranny. And in each vision, she saw herself, not as she was now, but as the continuation of all those who came before. She whispered through trembling lips, This is humanity's voice. The alien commander's voice returned, desperate now. You don't understand what you're awakening. That fleet destroyed empires. It's forbidden. Lyra's eyes burned with tears. Then you should have let us starve in peace. The dreadnought's weapons charged once more. Firing into the enemy flagship, the beam cut through its armor. Splitting the ship from bow to stern, the explosion sent shockwaves through the night, shaking even the stars above one by one. The other alien ships fled into orbit, their transmissions filled with panic. Retreat! The Terrans have returned. The signal is active. Lyra sank to her knees, exhausted. Her child whimpered softly, and she smiled weakly. It's okay, baby. We're safe now. But the AI interrupted her thoughts. Negative. Incoming signals detected. Multiple galactic fleets converging on this sector. Hostile intent confirmed. Her eyes widened. They're all coming? Affirmative, they will not allow humanity to rise again. Lyra looked up at the massive fleet surrounding her. She could feel their fear across the void. And for the first time, she didn't feel powerless. She stood, her body trembling but her heart steady. Then we'll rise higher, she whispered. The AI responded. Command accepted. Initializing full reactivation sequence. All across the mountain range, metal groaned and earth cracked as more ships began to rise from their tombs. Hundreds of dreadnoughts, thousands of defense drones, their engines ignited with the same golden-blue fire. The alien broadcasts filled the galaxy. The Black Armada lives. Earth's code has been found. Seal Sector 9 before they breach the core worlds. But it was already too late. The silence of human extinction had ended. Replaced by the roar of awakening thunder, Lyra stood atop the command deck as the mountain split open behind her, the fleet stretching to the horizon. The voice of the AI whispered softly now. For centuries, they called humanity extinct, forgotten, weak. She looked toward the stars, her eyes blazing with light. Then it's time they remember who we are. The dreadnoughts aligned, forming into a perfect diamond formation above the planet, and for the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy saw it again, the emblem of Earth, shining in the darkness like a promise. And as the fleet prepared for launch, the mother who came for food became the commander who would feed the stars with fire. The dawn never came that day, only the glow of burning skies. The mountain that had once been silent was now a fortress of light and thunder. The air trembled with the hum of awakened ships, their engines roaring like the heartbeat of a sleeping god. Lyra stood on the bridge of the dreadnought Astra Ultima. Her reflection glimmered in the glass as she gazed upon the fleet rising behind her. Hundreds of Terran ships ascending through the clouds, black as night and bright as vengeance. The AI's voice filled the command deck, steady, calm, and ancient. Black Armada operational. Command hierarchy restored, awaiting orders. Commander Solus, she took a deep breath, feeling the weight of that title settle over her shoulders. The same hands that once held a starving child now held the command of an army, capable of reshaping the galaxy. She looked down at the ring glowing faintly on her finger. You called me commander, she whispered. But I'm just a mother. The AI paused for a moment. Every leader begins as someone who wanted to protect what they love. Her eyes softened. She pressed her hand on the glowing interface before her, and instantly the ship's systems connected with her thoughts. Images flooded her mind, status reports, sensor readings, weapon calibrations, thousands of systems waiting for her command. Show me the enemy fleet, she said. The viewport shifted, displaying a holographic image of the surrounding space. A massive alien formation hovered in orbit, hundreds of ships arranged in a blockade. Their design was sleek, silver, and cold, marked with the insignia of the Galactic Enforcement Guild. They're scared, the AI murmured. They've sent nearly half their core defense fleet. They should be, Lyra replied quietly. The communications console flickered to life. The alien commander's voice filled the bridge. The same cold tone she remembered from before. Human anomaly. You've awakened forbidden weapons. Shut them down and surrender. We will ensure your kind receives mercy. Lyra stepped closer to the console. Her voice was calm, but her words carried iron. You had mercy when we begged for food. You had mercy when our children starved. You had mercy when you erased Earth from your records. No more mercy. The alien hesitated. You will bring ruin upon us all. Then let ruin remember who started it, she said. The transmission cut. The silence that followed was heavy. The AI's voice broke it. Fleet ready for engagement? All units linked? Orders? Lyra closed her eyes for a moment. The memories of the colony, of Vareth, of running through the tunnels, all of it surged within her like fire. She opened her eyes, steady and unyielding. Deploy formation Delta 7, she said. No warning shots, the fleet moved as one. Colossal dreadnoughts gliding through the atmosphere. The clouds parted as beams of gold and blue energy charged across their hulls. The alien fleet began to maneuver, their ships shifting into defensive position. But they were too slow. The first Terran volley cut through space. Each beam carried the fury of a forgotten race. The alien front line disintegrated in seconds. Debris scattering like dust, the Guild fleet retaliated. Plasma rounds and antimatter shells rained toward the Black Armada. But the human shields absorbed them, shimmering like auroras across the ship's hulls. On the bridge, Lyra didn't flinch. Return fire, she commanded. The dreadnought's cannons roared. A single shot from the Astra Ultima pierced the enemy flagship, tearing it apart from within. The explosion painted the stars in gold. Her child stirred beside her, asleep in the care cradle near the console. The soft hum of his breathing mingled with the distant thunder of battle. She looked at him and whispered, "You'll never go hungry again." The AI spoke, its tone softer now. "Commander, incoming transmission from multiple systems. They're watching. The galaxy knows you've returned. Let them watch," she said. "Let them remember the name they erased." The comm channels burst to life, fragments of panic and disbelief echoing across the stars. "It's impossible, the Terrans are extinct." "Black Armada confirmed active. Fleeing system now. The Guild command has fallen." Each word spread like wildfire through the galactic network. From the trade moons to the imperial capitals, from pirate dens to noble courts, all heard the same transmission. Humanity has returned. The AI turned its focus back to her. Enemy reinforcements arriving in 6 minutes. "We can't hold this sector forever," Lyra smiled faintly. "We're not holding it," she said. "We're reclaiming it." The fleet reformed, turning toward the stars where the main galactic lanes connected. The Astra Ultima led the charge, engines blazing. The Armada followed, a storm of ships wrapped in light as they broke through the atmosphere. The planet below shone bright with the reflection of their engines. The people who once cowered in ruins now stood outside, looking up. Their tears fell like rain as they saw the Terran symbol shine once more in the sky. In the silence of deep space, Lyra stood tall on the command deck, the child of Earth reborn as the mother of a new age. Her voice rang clear through every ship. "This is Commander Lyra Solis of the Terran Black Armada. To those who remember Earth when we are not gone, to those who betrayed us, we are coming." The AI's voice carried her words across every frequency. Transmission complete, the galaxy is listening. And as the fleet vanished into the black between the stars, the last message the aliens received was not a threat, but a promise. Humanity does not fade, we endure. We rise, silence settled after the storm. A silence that was not peace but awe. Where alien fleets once filled the heavens, only drifting metal and broken light remained. The Black Armada floated in orbit above the burning world like a constellation reborn. Every ship alive with gold and blue pulses, and at their center stood the dreadnought Astra Ultima, the first heartbeat of humanity's return. Lyra stood on the command deck, eyes fixed on the stars beyond. Her child slept soundly in the cradle beside her, the faint hum of the ship lulling him to dreams. Around her, the bridge glowed with warm amber light, alive with systems she still barely understood. The AI's voice echoed softly through the chamber. "All enemy vessels neutralized, Commander." "The sector is secure." Lyra didn't answer immediately. Her gaze was distant, thoughtful. "Secure," she whispered, tasting the word like something both foreign and sacred. For so long she had fought only for bread, for survival, for one more sunrise. Now she commanded a fleet that could burn suns, The AI continued. Incoming transmissions, thousands of them. Most are civilian channels. Let them through, she said. The main screen filled with flickering faces, aliens. Humans, hybrids, people from forgotten colonies. Outcasts, slaves, scavengers. All staring in disbelief, some wept, some saluted. Some simply whispered one word over and over. Terran, one voice broke through the static. A young woman, her face marked with soot, eyes shining with hope. My grandmother told stories about you, she said. She said humans once stood for something. Is it true? Are you really back? Lyra smiled faintly. Her voice was quiet but filled with power. We never left, child. We were only waiting for someone to remember. Across the galaxy, that message spread faster than light. From the cold mining stations of the outer belt to the crystal spires of alien capitals. The words "we never left" echoed through the data streams like a prophecy. The AI's tone softened. The Black Armada has received over 1 million join requests from surviving human enclaves and allied species. They seek protection, guidance, leadership. Lyra walked to the viewport, watching the stars ripple with the fleet's light. I'm no leader, she murmured. I was just a mother looking for food. And yet, the AI said, they follow you. She exhaled slowly, her hand brushing the glass in its reflection. She didn't see the starving woman anymore. She saw the glimmer of the admiral who once led humanity to the stars. Not as a ghost, but reborn through her. Then we'll feed them, she said at last. Not with fear or war, but with hope. The AI's processors hummed. Hope, Commander? Lyra nodded. The same thing they tried to starve out of us. Suddenly, alarms flared across the bridge. The AI's voice shifted tone, sharp now. Unidentified signal detected, not hostile. Unknown frequency. The main screen flickered. Static washing over the hologram. Then a voice emerged, old and calm, tinged with static. Human, but impossibly distant. This is Echo Station Prime. To any surviving Terran command, we read your signal. Protocol Aurora has reached us. Welcome home. Lyra froze, eyes wide. Echo Station? She whispered. That's a human outpost, the AI finished. Last recorded transmission 12,000 years ago. The signal strengthened, revealing the image of a station orbiting a dead star. Its surface was covered in massive structures, lights flickering to life one by one as if waking from eternal sleep. And there, rising from its dark surface, were hundreds more Terran ships, ancient, colossal, their hulls carved with the same eagle insignia. The voice continued. Command line verified. Fleet resurrection in progress, humanity endures. Lyra's breath caught in her throat. The Black Armada was not the last. It was the first across forgotten corners of the galaxy. Hidden vaults and stations were answering the same signal. The human code in her blood had reawakened them all. AI, she said softly. How many? The voice replied. Current estimates. Over 1.4 million Terran warships reactivating across known space. She stared into the endless black, her reflection merging with the stars. The hungry mother had become the center of a storm that would reshape history. The AI spoke again, quieter now, almost reverent. Commander Solus, the galaxy watches, the guild will rally their empires. They will come for you. Lyra turned from the window, her voice low but unwavering. Let them come. She walked to the command seat, the golden light of the interface wrapping around her hands. Her child stirred in his sleep, and she whispered gently, Sleep, my love. You'll grow up in a world that will never kneel again, the AI announced. Fleet synchronization complete, all systems standing by. Lyra took her seat, her presence commanding yet calm. Her voice echoed through every channel. Every ship, every world still listening. This is Commander Lyra Solus of the Terran Black Armada, she said, her tone like thunder wrapped in light. To every soul who still remembers hunger, fear, and loss, your time is over. To every empire that built its throne on our silence, your reckoning begins. The fleet engines roared in perfect harmony, a symphony of rebirth. The stars ahead shimmered with the light of 1 million Terran ships, forming a trail of gold across the darkness. And as the mother who fed the stars raised her hand, the Armada followed. They weren't a people crawling back from extinction. They were the dawn, the first light after an age of shadow. And their message, carried on every frequency, etched itself into the heart of the galaxy. We are humanity, the fire that never dies. The void answered with silence, not defiance, Not hatred, but something far older, respect. Because even the stars remembered the name that once fed them light. Lyra Solis, the mother who fed the stars. The spark that made the galaxy tremble.